I'm too raw for TV.
If you hear my voice, then you're part of the revolution. Welcome to the new world. I'm your host, the Ratchet Revolutionary Palmetto Star. Hit me up on X. Yes, you can still hit me up on X. They kicked me off. They kicked me off X, and I'm gonna talk about why they kicked my main account off. But guess what? That's why you got a burner account. But hit me up on Too Raw for TV Radio on X, Twitter, Elon Musk Toy. We're going in tonight about something that is going to be that was just revealed not too long ago. But really, we already knew it was up. We already knew it was up with these brands. You know what I'm saying? How they're just overvaluing, overpricing. Everything is over the top, but you didn't know how over the top it was until now. Until right now, until you're over TV. So, overpriced and undermade, the luxury brand expose. And we will be exposing so much stuff. So we're in here. It's Too Raw for TV, and I have someone I've been rocking with for so long. They've been doing their thing for a minute. Me and her have been rocking. You know what I'm saying? Going to different. Like I'm talking about, we're in the woods, y'all. The woods, everything. Been rocking with you for a minute. Yeah. So it's Eboni, aka Black Sister Goddess. So tell them a little bit about yourself and what's happening with you.
Yeah, so I've been in Atlanta for 26 years from Boston. I am a Hermetic yoga instructor. I'm a poet. I'm an activist. I'm a healthcare worker. I have been just learning so much being here in Atlanta about Black power. You know what I mean? I think God put me in the right place by bringing me here to see Black power on so many levels and just the infinite possibility that I don't think I saw when I was in Boston. So it's been a beautiful experience. And I just think that everything that I've been through since I came here and decided to live as my authentic self, that everything just fell into place and brought me to doing this festival in the home of my forefathers and mothers, you know. That's for the community, you know, for the health and wellness of the community and the legacy of longevity for the heritage of the Gullah Geechee people. And I'll fight for liberation.
Absolutely. You know, the Black Moses Freedom Festival, and it's so powerful, and it has a lot to do, or has everything to do with one particular figure in particular, and we're going to go in on that. You guys call in 470-572-7678. We're going in live on TooRawForTV.tv. We're on Instagram just for a little bit, just giving you guys a teaser. But you know it's Too Raw for TV. We're not going to be able to be on the social media. They just kicked me off Twitter, y'all. Like, I'm not, like, this is real. This is real. They kick me off social media when you start saying some real things. You know what I'm saying? And they kicked me off over an article. Now, I had that account since 2008. They kicked me off over an article. We're going to go in on all of that. You guys call in 470-572-7678. We got Eboni, aka Black Sister Goddess. You guys hit her up on Instagram, and she may or may not give you a little bit of poetry, but it's not going to be on Instagram, though. It's not going to be on Instagram. May or may not. So exposed, luxury brands exposed. As you know, America and China, they're going at it in a tariff war. You know, so just when you thought Kendrick Lamar was petty, China goes pettier. China goes very petty. So they just exposed that not 20%, not 30%, not 40%, but a whopping 80% of luxury brands. 80% of luxury brands are created to near ending. They're nearly completed in China. And all these brands have left to put on their products, their bags, their Hermes bags, their Prada, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all of these people, all they have when China ships the bags back to Europe, where they're supposedly made in these factories, but we're going to go on how that's a farce. But once they ship them back to China, ship them back to Europe, all these brands do is put their branding, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, just put Prada, all of these brands. They just put their name on it and put a tag that says made in, all of these different European countries. No, they're not made in none of those places. The only thing that the European countries does is put the tag on. So you're basically getting the same. You're basically
made in China,
right? You're getting
it's made in Italy.
Yeah. And not
Italian leather that's the leather from Nigeria.
The leather from Nigeria. The leather's from Nigeria. And everything else is from China.
Wow.
And everything else is from China.
It's made in China. But you think you have an authentic Italian bag.
Right. And the only thing Italian about it, Italian about it is the tag that says made in Italy. That's the only thing Italian about it.
Oh, that's probably what's made in Italy, the tag.
Right. They probably make those in China too.
Most likely.
They make them in China and then put them on in Italy. You know what I'm saying? And they're charging these exuberant prices. What's the most you ever paid for a bag?
Oh, I don't do that.
You don't say that.
I don't even subscribe to anything like that.
That's rare. That's rare.
Anything like that. The best bag I have is probably $150 that I got from an African woman, and it's a beautiful, sturdy, you know what I'm saying, quality product that I treasure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't idolize these people's things at all. They have no weight or hold no gravity in my reality.
Right. So all you're basically doing is paying for a white man.
For what?
For a pal.
Who was probably one of my slaveholders? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't subscribe. I do not subscribe. I will never subscribe to that.
Yeah, so there's people doing that though. Breaking down. I'm talking about putting your people's whole, economic thing in the disarray over bags, over these luxury items, over things like that.
Yes. And you see the chaos that it brings, and it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap. They're making it cheap. Now they're about to sell them bags for the same price. You know what I'm saying? And then now I can put my name on it.
That's what I'm talking about. Get the bag, put your name
now
on
I can put my name on it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Exactly.
Want to do that because the bag ain't good. It's just a Chinese made bag. What's authentic about it? I want something that is like truly authentic, and I think we can find that better in our communities than we can trying to subscribe to these name brands that absolutely mean that they're just names. And if we know anything about names, we best to create our own thing that we're putting our own name for us.
Right. And whose names are these? Ralph Lauren.
Do you know anything about the history? Like, I would hate to shudder to think the connections that you find between these brands and
chattel slavery.
And all time. It's still slavery. Because the slavery is just over there. Slavery by another name or another nation is still slavery.
Yeah, they still got slavery going on. Strict slavery. I mean, they got slavery going on here in the penal system.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mental slavery, big time.
Child labor and the rest is all a part of it.
Balenciaga definitely involved in some shady things. Kidnapping amongst one of them. And this is what they're doing this is what you're funding. Paying for a Balenciaga bag that's made in China. You're funding worldwide terrorism. You're funding kidnapping. You know what I'm saying? You're funding wars in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like think about it. When you're spending all this money on these brands and they're paying like $30. You're paying $3,000. You know? So you're paying all this money. Where is this money going to? You know what I'm saying? And then when you see the little shady stuff that Balenciaga is involved in, you know, child exploitation, you know, kidnapping, all of these things that they're allegedly involved in, you're funding that. Some black person is funding that. And they're happy because they got Tom Ford or whatever. And they're funding all of these crazy activities. So what do you guys think? Call in 470-572-7678. We're going in tonight. We got Eboni Holmes, aka Black Sister Goddess, with us. Now, how'd you get that name, Black Sister Goddess? That's a dope name.
Well, it was just Black Sis. And then just as I traveled more on my journey, I think probably maybe I had to make 10 years. And then, yeah, I changed it. I think it happened after I got my my Egyptian yoga certification. After I got into that and the mythology of the Metaru and all of that and the chanting and all of that, it was a whole elevation. There was a whole elevation and a whole activation. Because I've been active. I've been very extremely active, doing things that I absolutely love. You know, doing things that I absolutely love. Just really being consciously curating my life into the vibration that I want it to be on all levels, and like what I'm doing inside, outside, everywhere. Yeah, just tapping into my true desires and how that connects with the world. And Egyptian yoga really activated me to go into that space. Like it really is a powerful practice that I love to share with the community because it is such a powerful tool for centering and grounding in all of this chaos that we live in. How do you function? You know, like how do you actually get things accomplished, and what does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? I think it's so different for every single one of us. You know, I don't think there's no one prescription on how that's done. That has to be curated for each person, you know, from their experience and their life. It's a And it's an ongoing process. You know, it's a lifetime process. It's like you never get there. There is no there to get to.
Yeah, it's just a journey.
It's just a journey.
People get caught up in the destinations.
Right.
But what about what's happening before the destination? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many destinations, these predetermined destinations that people are given. You know, heaven, hell, all these destinations, predetermined destinations.
Right. And by who?
But
because who said? See, I can't.
Now you can make your own heaven, and you make your own.
And you better. And you
can make a greater heaven, or you can make a hotter hell if you want to make a hotter hell for yourself. And most people are making. That's what they're scared of this hell, but then they are creating hell in their own lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're creating hell in their own spaces, but they're scared of this destination. You better get on the journey. You better get on this journey because that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Life is a journey, not a destination. So we're going in on that. We're going in on so much. I want to talk about. Of course, the Black Moses Freedom Festival, but we are exposing these brands, these luxury brands. Luxury. I put that in quotations because I mean all this stuff is made in China. The same companies that are making the bootleg, and they're like, oh, you guys are getting the bootleg, blah blah blah. These same exact companies that are making the bootleg are making the real thing. Wow, the supposed real thing. Man, same company. That's a market, ain't it? Yeah, you're making the bootleg and the original.
They're making a bootleg and the original. You know, they're getting the money going in and the money going out.
You know what I'm saying? That's illegal and legal money. You know what I'm saying?
They get the money going in and the money going out.
Yeah.
We making the real bags and we making a knockoff. Just making them.
Yeah, exactly.
Making them and making money.
Exactly. So I do want to play that first video with the guy explaining from TikTok, Chinese guy explaining these brands, and we're going to go into you guys' revolution.
Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you, step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. The second is Weinheim from Germany, and the third is Baz from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil al Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand the erosion of seawater. It's the best stainless steel. For one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil. This edge oil is imported from Italy. It's called heat sealed edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, it used lambskin imported from France. For each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from LUXURY brand. And the zipper for one bag is 10 USD. And then the cost of human resource. The French artisans is much more expensive than Chinese artisans. To finish one bag, the human resource cost will be 600 USD. The package, this is not that expensive, it's 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you do not care about the logo, you just want the same quality, same material, you can just buy from us. Because for our bags, we use exactly the same material, same leather, same hardware, same edge oil. The only difference is one, we don't have the logo, so we don't have to pay so much amount of money just for that logo. And second, our human resource is much cheaper. This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD, but even better quality and craftsmanship.
So you saw how he explains how they make the whole bag. They make the whole luxury item in China. And then they just ship it to Europe to put a tag that was probably made in China as well that says made in Italy. So that's completely insane. And
It is. It really is insane.
I gotta give it to China for their petty level. They are petty. They just said, you know what? You're doing this tariff thing. We're gonna expose the whole game that y'all trying to run. You know what I'm saying?
The level of petty is unmatched.
You know, exactly. And not only that, the video that you just saw, and there's other videos that are just like it, basically engaging in this tariff war, a psychological tariff war, is on TikTok. And you know what I'm saying? They were mad about TikTok. TikTok getting canceled now. They got what they just gave them an extension, and then China's like, you know what, we're making this a weapon, a psychological war weapon. You know, more so because it already is, but they're gonna put their little spin on it where they're talking about the bags, and you got to see these videos and stuff like that. So hey, it's getting deep. They weaponizing TikTok for the tariff war. Weaponizing TikTok for the tariff war. But guess what? Y'all, we cutting it off on Instagram because it's about to get too deep. You guys are not going to be able to see this. on Instagram. Instagram likes to shadow ban and kick me off. You guys see how many Instagram accounts I got? I had to make those. This is my 8th Instagram account.
Wow. Good.
Eight.
You really want to really out here doing the work.
But you will not see this anywhere else but twowrovertv.tv. Join us, call in 470-572-7678 with your comments or questions. But the revolution will not be televised. It's Two for All for TV. All right. So you can put your So we are going in tonight. We have Eboni Holmes, aka Black Sister Goddess. You guys hit her up on Instagram.
Tell me. Uh-oh.
You got it. So we just exposed these luxury brands and what's really happening with them. You just do this stuff. Like this. If you got this thing. So we're going in about these luxury brands and exposing them. And we just saw the video where the guy was talking about how all the production was made in China. All of these 80%. That is. I keep on saying the number because it should just rack your brain like how crazy that is. You know what I'm saying?
It really is. It does.
80